There is hardly a better bite in barbecue than smoked beef short ribs. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Seasoning them up and getting them out on the Weber Kettle, soak in some smoke so we can enjoy some delicious beef short ribs. Yeah, that's what I've got right here. Some USDA Prime beef chuck short ribs. Now, I actually bought these a few weeks ago, vacuum sealed them and froze them. In fact, if you look closely on the top here on some of these, you'll see the pattern of the vacuum sealed bag. But that's what I like to do. When there's a good price on these, I will buy them and freeze them. So let's get started. First thing I want to do on this upper side, I'm not going to worry about the bone side, I want to get a little bit of a binder on. And I'm using this balsamic glaze from Trader Joe's. I really like this on beef. If it needs a binder, this is what I go with. Just a little rub on the top, down the sides. The rub I'm using today is barbecue seasoning from Uncle Dave's. Uncle Dave sent this to me to try, and I like it so far. So I'm going to use it on these beef ribs. Make sure I get the edges. Give the bone side a little love. Now these are a variety of sizes you can see of short ribs. Sometimes that's what you get when you're buying a cryovac pack. I always get asked, where do I get my beef like this? Usually Costco. Get everybody spaced out a little bit here. Last minute dusting. And as usual, I have it on a rack in my pan so it doesn't sit in any juices that sweat off. All right, this is going in the refrigerator overnight, and say it with me, tomorrow I'll see you out at the grill. All right, our beef short ribs have been soaking in that seasoning overnight. The Weber Kettle is up to temp. My target today is 250 degrees. And after we get our beef ribs on, we're going to put on a piece of red oak. So let's go ahead and get our ribs on. Could be a bit of a tight fit here today. We'll make it work. Get our piece of red oak on. All right, we're gonna get the lid on, get smoking, and we'll come back in an hour. Definitely we're gonna spritz these because it's a hot day today. See you back here in about an hour. All right, we're at the 1 hour mark. Temp's been holding really steady right around 250. Let's go ahead and check our beef ribs, and I'm positive we're gonna give them a spritz. And I'm just spritzing with plain water. Those are looking gorgeous. Give these a good spritz here. My experience is that these usually take about 2 to 3 hours to get to the color and texture that I like. Then I go ahead and put them in a foil pan, a little bit of liquid, cover them with foil, put them back on for a couple more hours to finish up. So let's go ahead and get the lid back on and let these keep smoking. See you back here at the 2 hour mark. All right, we are at the 2 hour mark. Let's take a look at our beef ribs, and usually at this point is when I find them to be at the color and texture that I like. So let's take a look. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that. Wow. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get them in my foil pans here. I usually double up the foil pans just to make sure that any of that juice stays in there. And we're also gonna start by adding half a cup of apple juice mixed with half a cup of just plain water. And we are gonna cram everybody in here. Some are gonna be on top, doesn't matter. This is gonna help us reach a state of tenderness. Put some of our little guys on top here. And another quick little spritz with water. We're going to double wrap with foil. Back on the grill. So we're gonna get the lid on and we're gonna let these go for 2 hours. Then at that time, we'll open them up and have a look. Might put them back on the grate. I think I might have mentioned that I put them back on the grate a lot of the times. Sometimes I don't if they look great and they're tender, so we'll make that call when it's time to check them. See you back here in 2 hours. All right, we are at the 4-hour mark. After 2 hours in a foil pan, let's go ahead and open it up, see how they're looking, and see if we want to put them back on the grate for just a little bit. Oh, those are looking good. Let's do a quick tenderness check here. Yeah, those are very tender. Let's get a temp here, see if we can see it. Yeah, that one's something like 210. I don't know if you can see that. See this one over here. Yeah, 210, 211. These are done. I'm going to go ahead and put the foil back on. It's going to go inside. It's going to rest for about 30 or 45 minutes, and then we'll have a taste. Well, here they are, our finished beef short ribs. Didn't need to end up giving them any time to finish up on the grill after being in the foil. A lot of times I'll do that if I've put something like a glaze on them just to let the glaze set, but we really didn't have that today. We just had a little bit of that apple juice in there with the water to add a little more flavor, but they're looking terrific and it's time to cut in and have a taste. I think I am going to choose this one right here. So let me move my platter out of the way. And I like to cut it off the bone first. A lot of times it'll just fall off the bone. Oh, yes. Look at that. Got a nice smoke ring, a lot of juice in there. Let's cut a couple pieces for tasting. And let's get a little bit of the end here with some barky bits on it. Cheers. Beef ribs like this have such an intense, beefy flavor. So whatever rub you use or whatever seasoning you use, you want it to complement that. And I have to say that Uncle Dave's rub really complements that. It's not overpowering, just a nice flavor that's added to this beefiness. Total cook time today, 4 hours out there on the kettle at 250. That's normally what I see with beef ribs like this. I have had them go longer, like 5 hours, but it's usually in that 4-hour range. And I always get asked by people, how long does it take to cook this? Whatever it is I'm cooking, if it's a low and slow thing like pork butt brisket, beef ribs, anything like that, even pork ribs, it's about tenderness. It's not about time. Time plus temperature equals tenderness. Tenderness is your ultimate goal in a lot of cooking like this. So you really want to get to that state of tenderness so you can really, really enjoy whatever you're cooking.